Hello everybody, this is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI.
And there's not much to do in the Veldt. Let's check out Mobliz again. You can continue the letter sending quest for the gal in Miranda. And I'm actually surprised there's not a letter. I guess you just have to enter one of the stores. Unless... Okay. Yeah, you read the last letter a long time ago, but never actually sent anything. And the way to advance it is to just go into one of the shops, open the menu, and then he'll get the next letter. Repeat 4 times or so. And
okay, so I guess you can't do anything with the record.
Right. Yeah, the previous letter from Lola was saying that, oh, you mentioned you were listening to a record. I wish I could listen to it too. So basically the party just grabbed any old record off the shelf and mailed it. To continue on, I have to read the letter. It should have arrived by now. And there it is. Send a tonic, the cheapest healing item in the game. And I wonder how the soldier feels. He's seeing this big white creature reading letters to him. He's probably thinking he's hallucinating from having never seen a Moogle before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tonic was sent. Won't be another letter yet until you go back to the store. Yeah, it's really too bad you can't do anything else for this guy. Just help him heal or anything like that. Just send some moral support to his girlfriend.
Yep.
And if you fly back and forth between Miranda, you can see her reaction to everything too, but it takes a little while. So she's worried. She hasn't gotten another letter. He'll just say he wants to get better and see Lola.
Yeah. Wherever this Lola is.
She's in Miranda.
Ah.
I think you spoke with her in a previous video too. I'll have to double check. Yeah, she actually plays a bit of a bit of a minor part later on too. So send her a book. Okay, let's grab the first book we see. Okay, here's this thing called Twilight. We'll send that to her. Disclaimer: Twilight is not actually considered a literary book. It's a piece of garbage. And if you talk to him after sending the last item, he gives you a free accessory. That Tintina bar will heal whoever's wearing it for 1 HP per step they take on the world map. So useful if you have someone who constantly needs healing while you're exploring.
Oh, okay.
So if you have someone equipped with, say, the True Knight relic, and they act as your team's tank, so giving them the True Knight and the Tintina bar will help keep them healed. Useful if you're doing a low HP run. And there it is. Up there, up, back down, back down. 4 clicks down. 3, 2, 1, up, -1. Up, back up. Make sure you're not going straight for the Tintina bar. Yeah,
Nope, I decided not to equip it.
Yeah, the black belt is a necessity if you're going to do the challenge I mentioned previously, and go do the Empire mission with just Locke and Celeste. Locke needs the black belt in order to survive getting through the Opera House in time, as well as the minecart area. And time to fly away. Highway. Bye-bye. Right now you're over the place I mentioned in the previous video, where you don't go there story-wise later on, but you can fight the stronger monsters and grind and steal some good stuff if you want. Back over the Veldt. And there's the river that Baron Falls led to. Fortunately, Sabin and Cayenne did not wash out to sea after that one. Hey, let's jump down the waterfall. You crazy? Unfortunately, the plot dictates you have to go that way. Now, this stretch is actually really good if you want to get at some of Mog's dances, because it has almost all of the available terrain that he can learn them from just along the stretch of land. So it has the plains, the forest, the desert, and you can just go into Mount Colts to learn the mountain one, go into Zozo to learn the town one, and unfortunately you have to go along the Elite River or the Serpent Trench to get the water one, which requires you to do some backtracking. And this here's Doma Castle. It is occupied by the Empire, they won't let you in, and the water is probably still poisoned. A great feat on my part! Something I'll cherish to the end of my days!
Yeah, it's until someone figures out a way to unpoison it.
The hooty patootie on you, then! Ruining all my fun! I know you are, but what am I? Back over the belt, there's Moblins again. And the awesome Velt theme, which you'll hear a lot of if you grind up Gao's abilities.
Yep. Yeah, this takes me a while to find where I'm going.
Oh, something I forgot to mention. In the very northwest corner of the map, that little piece of land that looks like a... I guess it looks kind of like a mouth. There's a building. There's a single building in there, and hidden in one of the pots is a hero ring. It's a very good accessory that boosts both attack and magic power. So it's useful for people like Terra and Celeste who spend a lot of offensive capabilities either with their weapons or magic. And those hero rings can be bought in the auction house in the second half of the game, but you just have to deal. That means dealing with the auction house. Back at the Empire, the next dungeon is actually across the bridge on the east side. You have to land in front of the bridge. And back to Albrook, looks like. Well, that is unfortunately not the place to go if you're looking for one of the hidden Magicite shards. You want to go to Sen.
I don't think I'll be going to Zen.
Oh, you're missing out. The Magicite shard you can find in there is the only one you can get Cure 2 on for the first half of the game. And we're back at Miranda. We can go see Lola and see what she thinks of the book. No need to go in there. Otherwise, going north will take you back to the Opera House. North from there is Jidoor. North from that is Zozo. North from that is Caholinga. North of that is the Hero Ring area. And there's Sen. The person you want to talk to in here is actually hidden in the trees on the north end of town. You just need to have 10,000 gil.
You said 10,000 deals?
Gil. Gold pieces.
Ah.
Yeah, the optional Magicite shards are very handy, but also a little expensive. You need about 30,000 gil to get them all. And Jidoor.
Yep, I think we've made it.
The place where you go in and get called a dork.
No, by that guy that welcomes you?
Yep.
That says it's the west part of town.
And anyone who thinks Celeste looks like Maria, but you don't have Celeste in your party. And let it begin!
Yep.
Get used to this, guys. We may be here for a while.
Probably not.
So, splendid chest item is Cherub Down. It is a relic.
Yep.
I don't remember what it does. Now, you can bid on these things and take them if you want. The Magicite shards will not show up in treasure chests. So, you'll be able to tell right away when they get put down. And as I mentioned before, there are items that are unwinnable. And the unwinnable items will basically appear out of nowhere, not be in treasure chests either. And you'd think they'd be sold for a pretty good price. Unfortunately, you can't buy them. Yeah, just have to leave and go back in.
Yep. Yeah, although it does eventually get to frustrate me.
Oh, it frustrates everyone who does this.
It's the exact same item every single time.
Now, it's actually useful if you decide to buy it, because if you can buy it it's not really a waste of time to try and go for it, but it'll be the same price every time. What really wastes your time in here is if you just keep getting the same unwinnable items every single time. And the same lady bought it for the same price. Heading on out. Heading back in. Yeah, normally you have 2 different relics, the 2 magicite shards, and 2 unwinnable items. And the relics and unwinnable items will change after the halfway point in the game. And I think the other relic you can buy at this point, I think it's a regen ring. Automatically cast regen on whoever's wearing it, slowly restore their HP in battles. Also useful for a tank if you don't have a Tintinabard. They both come in handy.
Now, despite the fact that they're offering me the exact same item every time, I do eventually give up.
Okay, what's going to be on block number 4? Inside, some cherub down. We have a huge supply of this thing. We're never going to run out. And even if you buy it or not, it's going to come up again. Yeah, this is why no one likes the auction house. It's probably the least popular element of the whole game. So, cherub down. You can open the menu to see what it does. And going down, we'll find out eventually. Oh, passed it. Okay, yeah, it automatically casts float, so it's handy on enemies that will use earthquake abilities. But learning float itself is cheaper and more efficient because you only really need float at a couple points in the game. 5 in a row! Man, I thought it was bad on my LP. I got one like 3 or 4 times in a row. I lost count.
I know. I'm not proud of it either.
Well, it's not your fault. It's because the game hates the player when it comes to the auction house. They actually made it much better in Final Fantasy IX because you have 4 different items being bid on at once, and they're all useful. You don't have any items that just waste your time with ones that you can't win unless you don't have enough money.
So this auction house is a Final Fantasy staple?
Not really. I can only think of this one and the one in 9.
As I thought the only Final Fantasy staples...
Okay, now this is getting entirely old! I command you, game, to give him something else just so we can move on! Oh!
I'm thinking the same thing. Okay, as I was saying, I thought the only 2 Final Fantasy staples were the Chocobos and the Moogles.
Yeah, those are pretty much those are the main ones, and of course you have the different summons and the different magic structure. You have the fire, ice, lightning spells and the standard healing ones. But yeah, the auction house only appears in a couple games. It's not a staple over the whole series. And of course you have the airships and Sid as well. And one more try. You feeling lucky? Probably not. That cherub down doesn't change any stats either.
Oh, how disappointing.
Really, you only need it for one boss later on in the game. That's right. Mog did not come equipped with anything, and Terra had all her stuff removed when she left the party after the Battle of Narsh. So always good to check your equipment. And what do we get this time? 7 in a row.
But it's gonna stop. So.
That has got to be a new record. I can't think of anything that's even come close to this in terms of number of times just showing up in the auction house with nothing else.
Yeah, I kept coming in random times in a row because I kept thinking, well, maybe they'll give me a different item, but I was apparently wrong.
I wonder if it's affected by the person, by either the arrangement of your party or just the person in front, but there's no real way of testing that since it's supposed to be random. Now you all know why everyone hates the auction house.
Alright, until next time, this is Gold Glee Gamer 1 and Dyne. Later, folks.
Bye, guys.